Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife, and welcome back to Vlogmas. Sherri Beth, day 22 of Vlogmas. You guys, 22, we are so close, 22 videos in a row. And for today's video, we actually asked you over on Instagram for some Vlogmas questions that you guys wanted us to answer. So today is a Vlogmas Q&A.
We have about a dozen questions we're going to be answering. We received a lot more, but we kind of went through and picked a few, and then we also combined some and kind of reworded some to kind of combine them all. So
yeah, there were a lot of questions around certain specific topics. So rather than answering each of those, we just, like Sherri said, combined those. And so Sherri, we're just going to jump into this with the first question, which is, what is your favorite thing about doing Vlogmas? And I want to tack an additional question on the end of this. What is your least favorite thing about doing Vlogmas?
Well, my favorite thing I think is like just kind of getting to interact with people more. We have more videos, we have more comments, and we kind of get to interact with you guys a lot more.
Mine honestly would basically be the same thing. I love that we get comments, and we've gotten a bunch of them already recently, that you guys are like, what am I going to do after Vlogmas? Because I've gotten used to hanging out with you every day. Like, I just love that you guys feel that way. Of course, we love the Christmas card exchange.
Yeah.
Another huge highlight for us. But I agree with Sherri. I think that my favorite thing is just like the additional time, the additional interaction, all the additional engagement that we get from you guys. And then can I be very, very honest in this video?
Yeah.
One additional thing is running a YouTube channel. December's great because ad rates are great. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like our revenue from YouTube goes up in the month of December, and just frankly, I love that as well. Nice. It is nice.
Yeah.
Now, least favorite thing about Vlogmas.
For me, it's that I feel like we have to post a video every day. You know, we've committed to this, and so it's kind of there are days that it's just an obligation, and I feel like not to get super negative, but like my health has been kind of terrible since early November. Yep. It's just kind of one thing after another, and there are days I don't want to do a video. I don't want to, but I feel like I have to. So I think that's the hardest part for me about Vlogmas, which is also why there's been a lot of videos with just Adam. Yep.
We've tried to, you know, on days that Sherri doesn't want to film, it's just me. I don't necessarily feel like, I don't know, to me, I wouldn't mind if we missed a video in Vlogmas. I don't view that as a failure. You know, like the commitment I feel like we've made, I don't feel like we've really broken it if we don't upload a video. So I don't feel that much pressure on that kind of thing. Yeah, you feel it much more than I do. I think my least favorite thing about Vlogmas would probably be that we've done this for like 3 years now. I think 3 or 4 years we've done Vlogmas.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like you end up doing a lot of the same things over and over. You know, and so like I was looking back at past Vlogmas videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do we make it new every year? But then you kind of realize that, well, that's really difficult.
Right.
Right? And then I also have to remind myself that so many of you guys are new to our channel.
Right.
And it might be what is old to us, or what we've done, you know, 3 or 4 years in a row. Yeah. This is your first time.
Right.
And so to me, just as like somebody who likes to create new things, sometimes Vlogmas can start to feel a little stale because there are a lot of things that you do. It feels like every year. Yeah. So moving on, we received a whole bunch of questions about travel. Yeah. You guys asked a lot of like travel over the holiday questions, so we kind of wrapped them up into a couple of them. First question, are trips ever a part of your gifts to each other?
Yes, they are.
They definitely are.
Yep.
You guys know we love to travel. One of our biggest values is travel. Yep. And we both are on the exact same page. We've had this conversation that if there's a trip we want to do, we both are 100% fine foregoing presents in order to have the trip be a gift to us. Right. Like when we went to Disney, that's kind of what we did. Yeah, we did Disneyland 2 years in a row, and that was kind of our gift. Like, we didn't really get gifts for each other. He still got me something because he's terrible. Yay! But that was kind of our gift to each other, was like the trip itself. Yep. And so we didn't like exchange gifts on Christmas. We went to Disneyland. For Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. And it was amazing. And we really loved it. So yes, trips definitely a part of our gifts. Next travel question. What would your dream destination be to travel for Christmas?
I think it'd be fun to do something tropical, like truly tropical, like we've done California. I would like to do like Fiji or like Bora Bora, or I mean, I'd like to do Fiji anyway because that got canceled. But something like that, like something just super tropical, because I've never done that for Christmas, and I think that'd be fun.
I do agree with Sherri. I think something like really tropical would be fun, but mine is very specific.
Yeah.
Mine is Paris for Christmas.
It would be a lot of fun.
When we went to Paris, first of all, it was just so stinking magical. But I remember thinking when I was there, just people bundled up and like if it could be snowy. And just like, I don't know, there's something about Paris that made me want to visit it at Christmas time. It just feels like it would be really, really magical.
Yeah.
And so Paris would be my dream Christmas destination.
That would be amazing.
Next question, Sherri. Disney during Christmas or Disney during Halloween?
This one is easy for me. We have done both, and I like Disney at Christmas.
Yeah.
I think that there is something so magical about Disney, and there's something so magical about Christmas, and when you combine them, it's just like all this extra magic, and it's amazing.
Yeah, my answer is exactly the same. This really isn't even that close for me.
No, I like the Halloween stuff.
Totally.
It's fun, but I like the Christmas.
Christmas
more.
way better.
Yeah.
Moving on from travel questions, Sherri, do you wrap gifts all the same, or do you use different papers and different ribbons?
All kinds of difference. All different.
All different.
Like, I think he has, I don't know how many gifts you have under the tree, but I don't think that there are any that, like 2 that have the same wrapping paper.
Yeah, we just totally... Now, they're almost always like Christmas wrapping paper,
Yep.
right? So they're all like Christmas holiday colors, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I stick to like the Christmassy stuff, but...
Yeah, but no, we don't have like... all of our gifts are in buffalo plaid, or all of our gifts are in like craft paper, or all of our gifts, like we don't do that. Like it's just kind of grab one out of our giant tub of wrapping paper and wrap it up.
Yep.
Next question, Sherri.
Yeah.
Yay or nay to Christmas carolers? And I want to like put a little addition to this.
Okay.
Both them showing up at your house and participating as a caroler. Yay or nay to both of those?
I'm going to make some enemies here. Nay to both.
Nay to both. So,
I like Christmas carols
okay.
in church.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't want to be part of a troupe, and I don't want anybody ever just showing up randomly at my door. Don't do it.
Okay. Okay. So I completely agree. Don't show up at our door. Like, unless you're like delivering an Amazon package, don't show up at the door.
No.
I agree with you, carols. I have a different answer though on participating.
Yeah.
100%. Let me go out and sing for people, Sherri.
Do it.
It sounds like a blast. In fact,
it.
I have a fun Christmas carol story. I remember growing up, my mom was in a lot of like community choirs and all that. And there was one Christmas, we might have done it more than once, but I remember one specific where we all like loaded up in like a party bus and like drove around town. And we went to like senior centers and went to like this veteran center. And we'd go in and they had like, well, I was a kid, so what they were drinking was different than what I had. But I had like hot chocolate. I think they had hot chocolate and peppermint schnapps. And it was just fun to like go around all different places singing. So for me, I will sing my little heart out as part of a caroling troupe. But please, carolers, do not show up at our house. All right, next question is from our friend Janice Hansen. Janice hit hard with the question. She said, do you feel guilty eating reindeer during Christmas?
Not even a little bit.
No!
Not even a little bit.
If God didn't want us to eat reindeer, he wouldn't have made them so delicious.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. Let's be very clear about that. He wants us eating them because they are so darn tasty.
They're so good.
Yeah. It's more like in Dasher, in Dancer,
Correct.
in, right? It's like, get in there because you are delicious. I think this one is going to be easy for you.
Yeah.
I need you to pick one of these 3.
Okay.
Hot cocoa, coffee, or hot apple cider.
I mean coffee all the time. But I'm also going to amend this just a tick and
Okay.
combine the hot cocoa and the coffee because I love me a good mocha.
Okay. So you're, okay, I got it. If you had to rank those 3, give me 1, 2, 3.
Just as like individual drinks, coffee, hot cider, cocoa.
Oh, I'm going coffee, hot cocoa, cider. Mm-hmm. But I do love a hot apple cider.
I do.
It is
like, there's
really
something
good.
really just like in the fall and in the winter, like it's just cold, but the hot cider is so great. I love it.
Here's what I will say. I prefer the smell of hot cider over hot cocoa or coffee.
Ooh.
Like that smell when you've got it in your cup, it just smells like, ooh,
Yeah.
so good. Probably the biggest area of questions that we received had to do with Christmas traditions.
Yep.
You guys wanted to know all about our Christmas traditions, what kind of stuff we do, all of that. Mm-hmm. And so Sherri and I talked about this for a while, and let's start out, before we get into the questions, talking about our view of traditions.
Yep.
Sherri, you and I are not big traditions people, are we?
Not really.
Yeah.
We both grew up with our own kind of traditions, and when we got married, we kind of kept some and got rid of some and made our own, and but really even like everything that we each brought into our marriage and the new ones, we kind of hold with an open hand. Like, if we don't feel like doing it that year, or if it doesn't happen that year, it's not like the end of the world. So yeah.
I don't think there's any Christmas tradition for us that if we didn't do this, like, it would feel like Christmas ruined. Like,
right.
none of them.
Right.
Pretty much everything. We also are both really good, and I appreciate this about you and about me a lot, is I feel like we're really open to trying new things.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, well, we normally would do it that way, but who cares? Let's try something different.
Yeah.
And so
I think this year is a big one for kind of traditions, because there are so many traditions that we can't do this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Or that I'm not comfortable participating in, like a Christmas Eve service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comfortable going to a Christmas Eve service. And so that is something that I've done literally every Christmas Eve in my life, but I'm not doing it this year. And it's going to be weird, but it's also like, I'm going to live. It's going to be okay.
Totally.
Like, it's not going to ruin my Christmas because I didn't go to a Christmas Eve service.
Yeah, and so for us, like, traditions are not, I don't know, I don't want to say that we don't value them,
right,
because we do, but like, I think the way that you put it was perfect. We hold them very much with an open hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so now getting into some of the traditions questions, traditions you loved from when you were a kid.
Actually, one that we kind of still do.
Mm-hmm.
So we would always get up and open our stockings and then have breakfast and then open our gifts. And it kind of elongated the gift opening and kind of made it more of like a day thing instead of like just as quickly as you can possibly open things and then forget everything. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like that, and that's something that we have kind of kept in our marriage.
Well, and Sherri touched on this when we were talking about traditions. One of the conversations we had before we were married was about traditions, because I don't think enough couples talk about this.
Right.
Because here's the thing, is that Sherri brought an entire lifetime of Christmas expectations and happenings. Mm-hmm. I did the exact same.
And they were different.
And so what can happen is like, wait a second, we're doing what for Christmas? That's not
Christmas.
what we do, right? And it's like, if you don't have that conversation before you ever get married, like, I promise you, Christmas number 1, there's going to be some issues.
It's going to be rough.
And so it was really fun for us to sit down and say, okay, like, what did you guys do? And then what did we do? But then to be able to say, now, none of those matter.
Right. What do we want to keep? What do we want to toss? What do we want to make our own? Like, is there something new we want to do?
I love that. And so that was one of the things that we kind of, we brought into our marriage, was to say, let's do Christmas Day sort of that way.
Yep.
One of my favorite memories as a kid, traditions we used to do, my mom and I always used to make these, and I don't really know how to describe them. We'd take like a little strip of paper, and then we would like decorate it, and we'd write something maybe encouraging on there, some kind of, or we'd draw like candy canes or little holly berries, something Christmassy. And then what we do is we take a piece of tape and take that strip of paper and make it into a little loop.
And then kind of loop
and
them together.
make paper chains.
Yeah.
And we would add on to this chain every year. And so, I mean, this chain was literally my whole life. Like, looking at it, like, it was year after year after year after year. And I just remember absolutely loving doing that, and then every year pulling it out and putting it on the tree. And so that was one of my favorite traditions.
Yeah.
Another Christmas tradition question. Mm-hmm. What is your traditional Christmas dinner?
We
don't have one.
We don't really have one.
This goes back to the traditions thing.
It does. So early-ish in our marriage, I don't remember what happened, but we like forgot.
I remember what happened.
What happened?
That's exactly what it was. We forgot to go shopping.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's like Christmas Day, and we were like, we don't have anything to make for dinner.
We had cereal. What are we going to do? And so we literally were like, we'll just go out to dinner. It's fine.
Totally.
And so we drove around town for probably 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing was open because it's Christmas Day. And there was finally a Chinese place that was open, and we were like, this is super weird, but we need to eat. Like, I don't want cereal on Christmas, so we went to this Chinese buffet. And
I was gonna say, and it wasn't just like a Chinese place, this was like a dingy Chinese buffet that we wouldn't normally eat at on a regular day.
And we didn't go back there. But we kept that kind of Chinese food on Christmas Day tradition because Chinese restaurants are really kind of the only ones that are open on Christmas. And so
it was so fun.
It was so fun, and we did that for years.
And it was really fun because I remember the very first Christmas we did that. Kind of even having our eyes open as we're having dinner, sort of looking around at even the family dynamic of people that were there. Mm-hmm. And I remember that first year we paid for dinner for other tables.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you could tell that we were there because, whoops, we forgot to go to the grocery store.
Right.
I think they were there because this was the best option, right, for them. Right. And so we were kind of moved emotionally at Christmas dinner. And so even just it gave us a chance to just sort of be generous on Christmas. Mm-hmm. But then also, it started this new tradition where we did Christmas Or we did Chinese on Christmas Day for a number of years.
For a long time.
But then, in true Adam and Sherri fashion, we were just like, let's try something else. Right? Just
let's do something else this year.
Let's do something else this year. And so I think last year we did King Crab.
Here at home.
Here at home. This year, we wanted to support local restaurants because with all of the shutdowns happening, we know that they're being hit hard. And so we found a really great local restaurant that's offering this awesome, like...
Amazing
meal that's like, pick it up, bring it home, and make it at home. And so we're going to support them this year. And so for us, our Christmas tradition is that we never know what we're going to have for Christmas dinner.
Right.
We kind of figure it out that year. Next question. How many gifts do you get each other, and are they always a surprise?
This one's kind of hard to answer because we don't really have like a set number of gifts that we get each other, and we have discussed budgets in the last several years. We just haven't, because he just blows right through them like they're not even in there. Whoops. So I just haven't even had the discussion. We just buy stuff. I don't think that really what he gets from me is a surprise, because I am a terrible gift giver.
What do you mean? It's not a surprise. What do you mean?
I feel like you give me a list and I buy your list. Because I'm so bad. Like, if I stray from the list, then he's gonna hate it, because he almost always does, because I'm a terrible gift giver. And so I just feel like if I don't stick to the list, like, you give me a list and I just click, and then I like, that's what you get.
Okay, that's really funny, because that is so true. That is so true. And I feel like I'm a little bit the exact opposite. Right. That I'm just like, I don't need a list. Right. I got this.
And so everything he gets me is a surprise, because he's a great gift giver. And I try. I do try.
I keep notes in my phone throughout the entire year. And so if we're ever somewhere, in fact, Sherri just saw a note in my phone just recently. I have a note in my phone that the title of it is in big bold letters.
Sherri, do not open.
Sherri, do not open. And that's like the list of things that I keep throughout the year.
Yeah.
So like, as she's like saying things throughout the year, as she's like dropping hints, like that goes right into my Sherri, do not open, like, note on my phone.
I also do a good job of keeping up my Pinterest board. I have a Pinterest board of gift ideas for me with links. You can just click on the link and buy it for me. So
I don't ever use that though. I've got my list.
But it works for my family.
That is
so
very true.
So that's for birthday and Christmas or any other kind of gift. Like, I just kind of keep that updated, and if I get things on the list, then I remove them. And then as I find things, I'll add them. And so I feel like I make it pretty easy for people to buy me stuff. Yeah,
very handy. So as far as the question, no budget.
Nah.
There's never a number of presents.
No.
It's never you got me 7 presents and I only got 4. Like, we don't care. Last question, Sherri. What do you like most and least about the day after Christmas?
Ooh. This one for me depends on the day it falls.
Okay, that's fair.
If the day after Christmas is a weekday and I have to go back to work, it's kind of just like a big wah wah.
That's
like,
the worst.
You have all this excitement from Christmas, and then it's like, and
back to
work,
reality.
Like nothing happened.
Yep.
And you don't get to play with your new toys. You don't get to like do anything. You just have to go back to work. But if it falls on a weekend, then I feel like it's so much fun, because you get to enjoy the stuff that you got, and it's kind of like an extended Christmas without all the crazy of Christmas.
I think mine would be least favorite thing. If you didn't clean up on Christmas Day, then you wake up to chaos.
Yeah, we do try to at least like pick up the paper.
That's what we try to do that, and that's
boxes.
And for that reason, because like if you don't like tackle everything, then it's like the next morning it's just like, oh man,
stressful, because your house is a disaster.
Totally. I think my most favorite thing is that it's like that first full day to just like enjoy whatever you were given. You know, it's like you have all day to like play with your new stuff and tinker around, and just like, I don't know, it's just so fun to have that day with whatever the items were, without the
chaos of Christmas.
Exactly. It's like I feel like the day after Christmas is the first day of like enjoyment of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be my answer. So friends, those are the questions you guys asked. Again, thank you so much for all of you on Instagram who sent us these messages, sent us these questions. There were so many more. We did not get to all of them, but this video is probably long enough already. So that's what we got to this year. But the nice thing about Vlogmas, it's happening again next year.
That's true.
Whether we do it or not, Sherri will decide. But friends, we love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking with us all through Vlogmas. Let us know in the comments below questions that you agreed with or disagreed with. We want to hear from you guys. We always love hearing your thoughts.
I'm sure I made some enemies with the caroling thing.
Do you think so? You think that we have a big pro-caroling audience?
I don't know. I really don't want to sing carols anywhere besides in church or my car.
I don't think that this is theologically correct, but I think I could make a statement that hell is just eternally carolers showing up at your house unannounced. It sounds horrible.
That's my living hell.
Friends, we love you guys. We'll see you on tomorrow's video.